And now for some complex numbers. So they're both called complex numbers or imaginary numbers. They're interchanged quite often. So express this, which is basically saying if you divide two imaginary numbers, how do you divide two imaginary numbers and simplify your answer? So you start with the original 2 plus 3i gets divided by 5 minus 7i. And then you look at the denominator and you use the conjugate. The conjugate looks exactly the same, except if there's a minus, it gets turned to plus. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate, which is the 5 plus 7i. So multiply on the top and the bottom, 5 plus 7i, 5 plus 7i. And now we just need to do FOIL. So first of all, distribute the 2, and that's going to be a 10 plus 14i. Okay, the 2 is done. Now distribute the 3i. So that's going to be 3 times 5 is 15i. And then 7 times 3 is 21. And I times I is I squared. So now we move down to the denominator. So when you distribute the 5, that's going to be 25. And then as far as the middle terms, well, this would be a positive 35i, and this would be a negative 35i. So those are going to cancel. That's one of the great things about conjugate. Then we just need the last one times the last one, which will be minus 49. And then I times I is I squared. And then remember that I squared is equal to negative 1. So we can change that right here and change that right here. So on the top, this is going to be 10 because I squared is a negative 1. This is a negative 21. So we have 10 minus 21, so that's negative 11. And then as far as the i's go, this is plus 29i. The top is now done, and for the bottom, because I squared itself is a negative 1, that's going to change this into a positive. So we then have 25 plus 49. And then that equals 74. And then we're basically done, although it did say put it in standard form. So that would be negative 11 over 74 plus 29i over 74. And then that is standard form. And then I want to show you how to do it on the calculator to check your answer. So, I have to write down the problem before going to the calculator. Okay, so if you're going to use the calculator for imaginary numbers, first go to the mode, and then the real imaginary part, change it to a plus bi. That's the standard form. And then take 2 plus 3, and then the I is down by the decimal point, second I. And then that gets divided by 5 minus 7, second I. And then it looks like my calculator, I don't know what it just did. Okay, so I need more decimals for one thing. Then let me redo that problem. And then it gives the answer in decimal form instead of fractions. So then I'm going to go to math and tell it go to fractions. And it says you should get negative 11 over 74 plus 29 over 74i. Is that what we got? Beautiful. So this one even deserves a smiley face.